Joining us now with more is Cory Gardner. He's a former U.S. Senator and Chief Strategist of Political Affairs for the Crypto Council for Innovation. Cory, thank you so much for joining us. So, looking at the results
Thanks
of this survey, 52% of the 1,200 voters polled nationally in October said they want the industry to be more regulated, while a mere 7% said they think the industry should be less regulated. And the remaining 41% of respondents were evenly split between thinking the industry was sufficiently regulated already or not having an opinion at all. Anything about the results surprise you?
I think there are a couple of results in here that are both surprising and great opportunities for cryptocurrency. I think if you look at the 52% that support or believe that the industry needs a little bit more regulation, that's in line with the work that the Crypto Council for Innovation is actually pursuing. This notion that consistency and clarity in rules and policy will lead to everyone being able to participate and take advantage of this incredible opportunity, being on the leading edge of this once in a generation opportunity to create this digital future, this new economy. And so I think that bodes well for U.S. leadership. The Crypto Council for Innovation is a global facing organization. And I think this means that we have to follow through with what the voters want. And those people who are on the ballot in just 2 weeks in states around the country that are listening to those crypto voters are going to get their support.
All right. Now, 1,200 people were surveyed, though. The population in the United States is over 300 million. But does it seem like a small sample set to begin with?
Obviously, pollsters have some pretty magic algebraic formulas in the way they work in terms of their formulas and how they structure these polls. So clearly, we'd like to see and hear every single voice in America. But what we have to settle for is a sample size that the pollsters say will accurately represent and reflect the voices of America. And that's what we've done. And I think along with that, you asked earlier what some of the surprises were in the poll. This isn't a surprise, but it continues to show opportunity, and that is the higher embrace and the people who embrace cryptocurrency seems to be higher percentages of African Americans, Hispanic Americans, independent voters, youth voters, and so really those people that are being courted over the next 2 weeks for the election are the exact same people that have a higher interest and a higher percentage of ownership when it comes to crypto.
Interesting. So do you think that crypto will be an election issue heading into the voting booth next month? Coinbase's Brian Armstrong, FTX's Sam Bankman-Fried, they're spending millions of dollars on, crypto campaigning, and would love to have you think so. But, last week I also spoke with U.S. Representative Jim Himes, who told me it's unlikely that it's going to be an issue. So how many voters actually care?
Yeah, I think a lot of voters care. Our polling showed that 59% of people who own cryptocurrency are more likely to vote for a candidate who supports cryptocurrency. Is this one of the predominant factors that people are going to be driving to the polls or, mailing their ballot back with intent to make sure this is the number one issue? I think a lot of people are looking at inflation. A lot of people are looking at overall economic issues. And this is one of the factors, though, that if you're trying to appeal to a voter, if you're trying to say, hey, look, we're going to improve the economy by having access to more digital assets and a structure around those digital assets to allow people to benefit. This is a way that they may be able to cut through and to get some more votes. And in states where we have elections as tight as they have been for generations, that 1 or 2% of crypto voter that makes a difference could be the deciding factor in holding or flipping a majority in the House or the Senate.
How likely do you think that it'll be that lawmakers will actually take up crypto as an issue? I mean, there are several bills floating around in Congress right now. When do you think they'll actually, start taking it seriously?
We know that they are already taking up this as an issue. We know that lawmakers are interested in stablecoin legislation, the DCCPA. You look at legislation by possible legislation by Congressman McHenry and Maxine Waters. You look at legislation, as I just mentioned, between
one for the Crypto Council.
I'm sorry, what was that?
What's the most pressing piece of legislation or issue that the Crypto Council would like to see through?
Well, I think it's bringing some clarity and consistency to this entire marketplace is important. So we're working alongside with Republicans and Democrats because this is an incredibly bipartisan issue. I think that's one of the other standout features of the poll, showing that this is not an issue that's been captured by the left or the right or red or blue. In fact, this is one of the most bipartisan, nonpartisan actual issues I've ever seen. And so where the Crypto Council for Innovation is interested is finding those lawmakers on a bipartisan basis who are interested in finding definitions to assets that we need, making sure that we have opportunities to structure debate properly between the tug of war over the SEC, the CFTC, how that is going to play out, and making sure that whatever we end up with allows innovation to flourish, allows new developments to proceed, and make sure that every sector of the global economy, no matter who you are or where you are, is able to participate.
Yeah, I guess I thought if you had one piece of legislation you favored one over the other. I mean, some say the DCCPA is a little too tight. Others say the Lummis-Gillibrand bill is a little too, easy on details. And I don't know where you guys stand.
Yeah, again, I think we're engaging with everyone. I commend whether it's G.T. Thompson, the legislation that everyone has been a part of, Maxine Waters, Senator Gillibrand. We're going to engage with everyone on legislation that affects the industry, both proactively, reactively, and a way that makes sure that we can bring our membership to bear on the decisions that are being made. Look, I don't know that the stablecoin legislation that Senator Toomey has introduced is another one. I think there's areas where our members are supportive, areas where there's disagreement, and we have to have continued dialogue to make sure that these bills get through the process in a way that allows everyone to benefit, like I said.
Cory, we got to wrap it, but before we do, just one last quick question. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, they're asking regulators to clarify the rules on former staff taking roles in the crypto industry, noting, quote, that the increasing number of revolving door hires are, from the regulatory branch to the crypto industry is quite high. And they are asking how long individuals involved in regulating the crypto industry are barred from seeking employment in it. And I just wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Look, I have the greatest respect for public servants and not only elected officials that you mentioned, but also the public servants that are leaving their public service to go find work in the private sector. And I think we need to make sure that we have safeguards, but we also need to make sure that people are allowed to work and provide a living for their families. A mechanic at the Department of Transportation, if they leave the Department of Transportation, probably going to go be a mechanic in the private sector. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And we shouldn't just immediately suspect that people are nefarious actors or doing bad things because they're simply pursuing their career choice in an area of expertise that they've built up over years. So I hope that we can work together to find answers, to get them the facts that they want, but also recognize that we want people who know what they're doing in positions to make a difference.